Well, good morning, everyone. And this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show, June 29th. And we are live here at News Talk 830 WCCO, getting ready to go live on air. Thanks for joining us. Well, good morning, everyone. And welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us here, June the 29th. 2024. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering, and myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. We appreciate you joining us. This is a live and local real estate show here from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And you can join us by phone or text 612-294-6949 at any point during the show. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us at any point. Welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. Mike and Scott, good morning to you there, guys.
Hey, good morning, Ryan.
Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show, and we're here to the top of the hour. Love your comments and questions. 612-294-6949. Besides getting into everything real estate and mortgage related, we actually have a kind of a prediction calendar. This is about 6 months, so we're halfway through the year. And so instead of having a fun question of the week, we're going to have 3 little predictions. So who will win the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, holy cow.
Yeah, who will win? This is through 2024, even though it rolls into February. Who will win the Super Bowl? Who will win the presidency? And what will interest rates be by November 5th for the election? So Super Bowl, who's going to win it? Presidency, who's going to win it? And what will interest rates be by November 5th?
Yeah, appreciate you joining us here again at the Minnesota Real Estate Show every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Always like to do in our first segment of the show, just an update for you from a mortgage standpoint and a real estate standpoint. Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans. Lot going on, Mike. Mortgage-wise, what's new, bud?
No, mortgage-wise, it's been nice over the last couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about, how FHAs and VAs were, down around 6.25. Conventionals were, some were at 6.625, some at 6.75. We've held that line for almost 2 weeks straight now. They've only gone up an eighth since then. So we're still in the low 6s on some of your government loans, mid to high 6s on the conventional side of things. And to be honest with you, it's kind of nice. Usually every 2 weeks I come in here and it's like, it's a 0.5% higher. It's a 0.5% lower than what we spoke about previously. It's just been steady. And I think that's a good sign. If we can just stay steady in the 6s,
get people used to what it is.
Yeah. If we could just stay steady in the 6s, don't bump up to 7.25, don't bump up to 7.5 for a couple of weeks. Just stay in the 6s here, and everyone's life is a lot easier because you can now prepare and budget for that. So I think we're going to hold here for a while from what I see. And I think as we move through the year, general consensus is they're probably going to slowly drop as well.
Real quickly before we get I've got a kudos to you. Actually, Jordan, my daughter, who moved back from Arizona, is obviously going to have to buy a house here. So Mike is her loan officer. And she called me yesterday and she's like, holy mackerel, Scott, or Dad, he is so much better than any loan officer we've ever dealt with from communication, what's going on. She's like, I bought 4 houses. I had no idea about any of it until I talked with Mike. So kudos to you.
Yeah, good stuff indeed. So Mike, a 30-year fixed, where did you say it was at?
Like your FHAs and VAs can be still down around 6.25, to be honest with you, depending on credit score, of course. The conventional loans, you're sitting closer to probably 6.625, 6.75 there, again, dependent upon down payment credit score.
So it is lower. Yeah, that's encouraging to hear the number 6. Before the break, real estate numbers, what's going on in the Twin Cities here? New listings are down. New homes for sale in the Twin Cities down 1.6%. There were 1,564 new properties that came on the market. Pending sales or accepted offers also down about 10% year over year. There were 1,033 pending sales, and then the inventory of homes for sale still up about a similar number, about 13%. There are 8,800 homes for sale And then lastly, that median sales price. People wondering, hey, what's going on with real estate prices? Median sales price is up 4% year over year for the month of May to 385,000. So low inventory, a little bit less pending sales, prices still steady, slowly rising, especially probably 500 and under, Scott. But again, a little bit of a slowdown people can feel.
Yeah, I mean, I know it said that it says we're appreciating 4%. I don't feel that over the last year. I think that there are certain price ranges, like you just mentioned, under $500,000, which is still appreciating slowly. But I think we've been in a relatively flat market in anything over 600 grand for the last couple of years. I mean, there's still pocket areas of, Wayzata and Eden Prairie and so on. But for the most part, across, it's been relatively flat, driven by the fact that interest rates have been up around that 7. It's a number people don't like. They look at their payment. And that's why our search criteria is still great. I list a house, oh my gosh, we have 1,000 buyers that have got this saved. But instead of 50 showings, we get 5. That's interest rates, that's payment shock. It's just that's where people are just a little bit hesitant.
Yeah, before the first break here, wanted to feature a listing. Nikki Popko, great agent on the Minnesota real estate team, Remax Advantage Plus. She has one in Burnsville. It is 2154 Skyline Drive. It just went on the market. $434,900 is the price of this 5-bed, 2-bath home. It's got a great fenced-in yard, 0.42 acres, hardwood floors in the living and dining rooms. There's a new 12 by 24 deck off the living and dining rooms. Nikki said for summer barbecues or morning coffee, a nice 3-season porch and a brand new roof, providing peace of mind for years to come. Check out the pictures on that one, 2154 Skyline Drive, South in Burnsville for $434,900. Great property with Nikki Popko. We're up against the first break here. Again, you're welcome to join us at any point. 612-294-6949 is how you can join our live real estate show here with questions, comments, thoughts. Again, 612-294-6949. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us, folks. Social media, sorry we were a little later to get started today. Sometimes they do the news in our studio, and so we have to start a little bit later. So, Mike, good to have you, bud. You've been busy. You've had a lot going on.
It has been a busy spring. The spring is the busiest for us, kid-wise, 4 kids. March to that middle of June is every single day. There's at least 2 events going on, kid events. Now, as of last week, basically 3 sports ended, and we have just 1 sport going on. So now it's I get to relax for a couple months here before it gets cranked up again.
Yeah, I remember those days because you have what, 3?
4.
4. And we had
4 kids.
And we had 5. Our kids were not as good at athletes probably as your kids will be, but they were in everything. You're just a taxi driver.
Yeah.
I mean, from the age of 6 years old till 16.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Got Steve Stalock in studio with us, Win Home Inspection. Steve, always a pleasure.
Hey, it's good to be here. Beautiful day. We had that weather forecast earlier. It was absolutely perfect.
70
Next
and
few
sunny.
days, yeah, perfect.
70 and sunny. 4th of July, Mike. Speaking 4th of July, we'll have to talk about Mike's party of the year.
Yeah.
That is the party of the year.
Yeah, it is a party.
That's the Great Gatsby party of the year.
Yeah, we were talking about before. You go all out for that party. It's fun.
Yeah.
Fun for everybody. Kids have a blast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much. I say we got entertainment for everyone from 6 months old up to 90 years old.
So
I mean, there was that kid Billy last year that kept buttoning line on me on the slide.
Oh.
I took care of him, and
What do you have
that
for
was
the
fun.
9-year-old?
Yeah. Bounce houses for the 90-year-olds.
Mike lives in Burnsville on a lake, on Crystal Lake. It's just a beautiful setting for the kids. Events, bouncy houses for adults. It's just a super fun time. Mike, tell people about it.
Yeah. So like I said, we got a little bit of everything. There's food truck, ice cream truck. We got mini donuts, shave ice, and lemonade truck coming this year.
Oh my gosh.
Giant blow up water slide that we have for everyone, and then everyone can swim in the lake. Our band that we have, we had band practice last night. So my band will be playing there as well live, and so yeah, it's a good time.
That's
Is there
fun.
media coverage?
I know.
No media coverage there, but we'll have boats pull up. You know, we'll have boats pull up, and they'll be watching. You know, everything from the.
Well,
From
you
the
got
water
you
and-
got a what used to be my favorite spot. You used to have a canoe that was just full of booze.
Yeah.
So I would just pull my chair up to the canoe, sit there back in the day.
Yep. Yeah, we use that as a cooler. Like you can't physically get enough coolers there to hold everything. So we would just get a 3-person canoe and fill it with ice, and everything goes in there.
Scott, you're doing an open today?
I'm doing an open today, and I'm gonna not have the address in front of me, but I'm doing it for Becky.
Is it Lakeville?
It is
Lakeville
yep,
property?
Yep, hold on, Becky Gonzalez in Lakeville. I will get it here in a second. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
due into open house season. It is kind of that season. We're seeing more opens, seeing more people out and about. We're going to be talking with Steve here a little bit too. Steve is extremely busy, a sign of our market. Everyone is having home inspections again for the most part, with a little less fire activity. You said you've been as busy as ever.
I am at capacity, so
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah, we're going back live here again at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope your weekend's going well. Final show before the 4th of July coming up here midweek. Welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope your Saturday is going well. It's June the 29th, 2024, and we are live here every Saturday. If you are looking to buy a home, sell, invest in real estate, please don't hesitate to reach out to us here at the Minnesota Real Estate Team. We have a top agent on the team wherever you are hearing this on CCO. We are a team really all across Minnesota, Western Wisconsin. We help people buy homes, sell homes, invest in real estate. And we were just talking a little bit with Mike Overson about his party, his 4th of July party. It's kind of like the Great Gatsby, Mike. Tell people about your big party.
Yeah, every year we, my wife and I, put on an event, and we have everyone come over to our house in our backyard. We got good space in our backyard, so we have bounce houses, and we have blow-up water slide, and people can swim in the lake, and we have live music, and then we have a food truck come in, and we have an ice cream truck come in, and this year we added mini donuts and shave ice truck to come in as well. So it's a great time. You know, people come over. Then we do the big fireworks at the end of the night. So we do have kid fireworks, which is an awesome picture opportunity for parents to get pictures with their kids and fireworks. And then we do the big stuff once it gets dark.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. 612-294-6949 is how you can join the discussion. That property that I'm doing open today is 17716 Glasgow Avenue in Lakeville. Very nice townhome, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. It is listed by
Becky
Gonzalez. I forgot, sorry. Becky Gonzalez. So I'm going to be doing it for her today from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Come out and visit me, 17716 Glasgow Avenue in Lakeville.
Yeah, Mike, we had a question from a listener.
Yeah, we had a question about co-ops. It said, can you please talk about the value of co-ops? Could you talk about the financing of co-ops? Maybe you could mention why it is so difficult sometimes to get financing for co-ops.
Yeah, what do you think financing wise on those, Mike? How does that work?
It's certainly tougher. We don't finance co-ops, so I couldn't give you the details on what the type of financing and what it takes to get financing on co-ops there. You are right, though. It is more difficult to get financing on co-ops.
Why? Help people understand, what is it?
Yeah, it's because it's like a fractional ownership. You don't actually
own the property.
your property.
Yeah.
It's like you own a percentage of like the entire chunk there. So it's like, how do you identify like a property identification number, your space that you own? And I think that's the main reason why it's tougher to get financing. There is financing out there for it, but it's definitely tougher to get.
Yeah, I actually, for people, co-ops are just too much to even go into on the show. I am not a fan at all of co-ops. I should back that up a little. Depending on your stage in life, I am not at all for co-ops. Very hard to sell. Very hard to get financed. What Mike just said. You don't really own the it's just, if you're thinking about co-ops, please reach out to us and I can kind of go through the reasons why either is a good idea or not a good idea.
Yeah, just for listeners who maybe have never heard of a co-op, again, when you buy into a co-op, as the guy said, you're not purchasing a piece of property or a unit in the building. You're buying actual shares in the nonprofit corporation that owns the actual building. So when you buy it, you receive stock instead of, again, when you buy real estate, you get title with a traditional home purchase. And it is different, of course, than buying a condo. And so there are things to think about, as the guy said, with purchase of resale value. I can think of over maybe the last 5 years, our team has probably worked with 20 buyers or sellers of co-ops. So as a team, we have done a fair number of them. But as Scott mentioned too, there are a few nuances to go into, but hopefully that helps a little bit just to give people an idea financing wise. So Mike, would it just be a lot of cash purchases probably?
I would imagine so. A lot of cash. You can do big down payments on something like that. And I don't know if they even do. I'll offer 30-year fixed. To be honest with you, I'm not sure what type the terms of the loan that you get on co-ops, because again, we don't finance co-ops, so I don't have that information. But it's definitely a different world.
Well, and the other thing with co-ops, a lot of times people get excited because the purchase price seems to be a lot less, but your I don't even know if they call it an association, but your monthly fee that you pay is very, very large. So let's say you bought a place for $200, your monthly fee might be $1,400 a month. And so again, depending on the situation, depending on the co-op, just make sure you're talking with an agent that understands it, so you know exactly what you're entering into before you do it.
Yeah, before we continue the discussion, wanted to touch on a listing. This one's in Chanhassen. Susan Mall's got a great one. It's 8030 Erie Avenue in Chanhassen. It's listed for $450,000. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath Rambler, 2-car garage. It's got a great finished basement. It is EV ready with a 2-car garage for electric car enthusiasts. It's close to Rice Marsh Lake Park, 3 bedrooms on 1 level and a large fenced backyard. Be sure to check that one out. 8030 Erie Avenue in Chanhassen. That nice looking property for $450,000. Steve Stalock, Win Home Inspection, is our featured partner with us today. mnrealestateshow.com is where you can see all of the partners that help agents and our clients of the Minnesota real estate team. We were talking to Steve before the show. He has not had much sleep. He's been very busy. People are doing home inspections again, Steve.
Yeah, in contrast to a couple of years ago when the market was really overcooked. I was not expecting much, but right now I am at or a little above my possible capacity. So.
What do you think, obviously, where things are at with the market, less offers per listing, so home inspections, obviously people are including them. Are you hearing that from others in the industry too?
Yeah, but I'm also seeing plenty of multiple offers. I think at that entry-level home, it would be a real common scenario for me to get a phone call from someone saying, hey, we're submitting a great offer. What do you have? What's available? Can you pencil me in for next Thursday? And then Sunday night, Monday morning, oh, we didn't get it. And I hear that kind of a repeat until they actually are able to get an offer accepted. So I do see that there's plenty of multiples still going on.
Scott, what have you seen on your listings?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing kind of what we were talking about. I'll give you a prime example on the last one I sold. So the last one I sold was just a small home in Eagan for $350,000. We had 1,700 saved searches, which means there were 1,700 buyers working with an agent that had that criteria saved. We had 18 showings and 2 offers. If that was the beginning of 2022, we would have had 40 to 50 showings and 25 offers. So I agree with Steve. We still are in the second best sellers market that we've ever had on the planet. We only have 8,500 homes, I think. And so again, it's very, very aggressive. The only thing that has kind of slowed it a bit is the interest rates. I mean, that's it. It's just not as affordable as it was in 2022.
Mike, how is your file count for the year compared to last year? Are you guys up 10%, 15%?
We're probably up, I'd say 5 to 8%, something like that. So I know that in general, what you guys are up about 15%-ish or so.
Like 10.
Like 10. So yeah, I mean, pretty close to there. We're at that, like I said, 5 to 8% probably as far as file count goes. So, and it's so weird. It's like, as interest rates have ebbed and flowed since the beginning of the year, it's like as soon as we get over 7%, you can feel the application count go down.
Yeah.
And as soon as we dip back down to the 6s, oh, here come more applications. And it's so weird that there's a line there where it's like, is it going to be a busy week or a slower week? Well, where interest rates are at. Oh, they're under 7. It'll be a busier week.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that people's mindset when they see it go from 7.25 to 7, they think, oh, here it's coming back down again. Well, I got news for you guys. We're not seeing COVID rates at 2.7%. I'm not going to say ever, but not in your short-term house buying window. I mean, if you're going to buy a house in the next 5 years, we're not going to be at 2.73% again. That's just not happening.
Yeah, we're at the halfway point. I want to touch on a listing. Kevin Curtis has a great one in Burnsville as well. 2504 Oakwood Drive in Burnsville. It's priced at $450,000. It's a 3-bed, 3-bath, 3-car garage home. It's got over 3,300 square feet, 0.6 acre lot, and it's across the street from the Murphy Hanrahan Preserve. It's got beautiful views, updated kitchen with a farm sink, quartz countertops, sunroom, main floor laundry and mudroom, and there's 3 fireplaces. Wow. 2504 Oakwood Drive in Burnsville, priced at $450,000. Kevin's going to be out there today. He's doing an open house Saturday from 11:30 after the show here to 2:30, 11:30 to 2:30. You're welcome to join us at any point by phone or text, 612-294-6949. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Steve, are you seeing any common issues in your inspections?
Scott mentioned it's still a strong seller's market. So one thing that I see is sellers are not going that extra step to fix everything up. There's still a lot of deferred maintenance out there. And in the last, I would say, clearly the last month with all the rain, landscaping issues, overgrown vegetation, all that stuff really stands out. So, as a general rule, I would say, yes, the home sellers are getting their houses ready for the market, but they're not taking care of everything like they used to before when it was a real buyer's market.
Yeah.
How many water issues you seen with the rain this year?
It's not so much that I've seen water in basements. Certainly that can happen. Instead, what I get to see is really poor drainage, and then I can explain, well, this is why the patio was settled.
Oh, yeah.
And you can take a picture of a big puddle and everything's sloping back to the house. It's like, yeah, you're going to have water issues in the basement. So it's really dramatic right now to be able to see that stuff.
Do you question about a French drain? Can you talk, Steve, about what is a French drain for water issues?
That's going to be buried or submerged drainage within your landscaping. So integrating one way or another to control the water coming off your roof. We aren't required to have gutters on our roof lines. They're just a great idea. Get the water down through downspouts onto the ground and then control it from there. So the question is, how do I control it from there? So burying, drain tiling, rocks, tubing, where that water is concentrated coming off the roof and getting it far, far away out into the yard. So that's French draining is basically buried drainage to get the water away.
Okay, got it. Mike, prediction for interest rates? We got predictions.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the predictions. So 3 predictions.
3 predictions.
Those are our questions. 3 predictions. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? This is through 2024. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who is going to win the presidency? And what will interest rates be by November 5th, election day?
Oh boy. How about?
I'll start.
You start.
I'll say. So I think I was torn between Philly and the Ravens for winning the Super Bowl.
Wow.
But I think I'm going to take Philly. I think adding the running back from the Giants is going to be good. President. Well, let me put it this way. Anybody that ends up running against Trump that is not Biden wins the presidency. So whoever that person is. But I'm going to choose Gavin Newsom. I think Gavin Newsom will be the new president. And interest rates by November 5th, I've got 5.85.
Wow.
5.85 by November 5th. Philadelphia to win the Super Bowl and Gavin Newsom as the new president.
How about you, Mike? Interest rates.
All right, interest rates. Let's see here. Could I see like VAs and FHAs, government stuff, because they're typically lower than conventionals? Could I see them at the 5.85? I could see that, to be honest with you. I think on the conventional side of things, I'm going to say I'm gonna say 6.375.
6.375.
Yep.
6.375.
Yep.
All right, we're going back live on air on News Talk 830 WCCO. Hope your weekend's going well, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're in the second half of the show, live real estate show. Welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. 612-294-6949. Got another listing. This one is 10300 Minnetonka Boulevard. It's listed for $325,325. Steve McDonald has this one listed. He said it's a great first-time home buyer or for a potential real estate investor. It's 4 beds, 1 bath. There's additional parking in the second driveway on Birch Place Road, freshly painted throughout. There's new flooring in the main level, new boiler, refreshed kitchen and bathroom, and there's an open house today, 11 to 1, Saturday, 11 to 1. There's one other one in Bloomington we wanted to touch on. This is on Overlook Circle. Beautiful area. It's 2261 Overlook Circle in Bloomington, 625. It is a 2-acre property and an incredible opportunity to own a home on the bluffs. It's well maintained. It's a mid-century modern home located, again, on an incredible lot, lush trees, private setting. It's in a bluff, on a bluff overlooking 9 Mile Creek. A 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It's set back a ways from the street. Wood floors throughout, upper 2 levels, a wonderful sun porch. And again, Steve said lots like this are super rare with 2 acres. It is an open house today, so he will be there a little bit later today, Saturday, 2 to 4. Mike, you could live on the bluff. Do you know that location right there on the bluff in Bloomington?
Yes, I do actually. I could live there.
Yeah, beautiful spot. Beautiful spot. Scott, you ever sold anything on the bluff?
2. Yep.
2?
Yep. The Overlook. There's also a street Kenmore. I've sold 2 on Kenmore, and yeah, beautiful. I mean, you literally look over the river valley, and it's awesome. Hey, off air, we were talking about our question today. So 3 picks, predictions, because we're halfway through the year. So in 2024, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who is going to win the presidency? And what will interest rates be by November 5th, which is election day? So my picks were Philadelphia. Philadelphia will win the Super Bowl.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia
Wow.
Eagles will win the Super Bowl. That Gavin Newsom, I'm going on a long shot that he's going to be entering into the election and that he would be the winner, or anyone that runs against Trump. I think Trump can only beat Biden. And interest rates by November 5th, I have 5.85%.
Well, very interesting. Very interesting stuff. 612-294-6949. Steve Stalock, Win Home Inspection, featured partner. Steve, what are you seeing in your inspections? Thoughts, tips for existing homeowners, new buyers, agents listening to the show?
Yeah, we were talking off air about water management, and we've had so much rain, and it's really overwhelming houses. So as a homeowner, you want to make sure if you've got a sump bucket, get in there, make sure your pump is running, make sure the water is getting away from the foundations, got to get pumped outside. Gutters, keep them clean, get the downspouts, carry that water far away. And you had mentioned French drains. There's a lot of strategies to make sure you get that water out and away from your house and your foundation.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Scott, are you seeing anything on your inspections recently?
Yeah, I mean, not for the most part. I mean, it's been pretty consistent. We've talked about this through the years, when inspections were being waived. Inspections, obviously, you're looking for major things, reasons that you might not move forward with the purchase, major items that you're going to need to take care of, which you have to weigh whether that makes sense to continue forward. And for the most part, through the years, 25 years of doing this, I can think of 2 properties, and one was windows and the other one was mold. Actually, Steve had done the inspection where it exceeded $10,000. For the most part, it's not a lot of an inspection, Steve, I don't know if you agree or not, is looking for things, but also educating the buyers about what they're stepping into in their new home.
Yeah, I've had a lot of first-time home buyers over the last week, and it is really a matter of teaching about what they're about to get themselves into. And I would say too, if I were to categorize things that tend to get a little more major, I would lump them into a category where Joe homeowner has taken on projects that they had no idea. They watch a YouTube video, oh, I can do this, and just totally, it's like, hey, if you don't know how to do electrical work or plumbing, call an expert.
Yeah.
So those are the things that get me shaking my head sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard for a homeowner, Ryan, I'm sure you've run into this as well, for a homeowner that has finished their basement. So they finished it on their own. So they're not 2,000 square feet, they're 4,000 square feet. The problem is they'd be way better off if the basement was not finished because it was done so poorly. Obviously, a seller did it. So it actually ends up hurting you because most people have to redo the entire basement.
I once saw a house where the homeowner had finished their basement and did all the lighting using speaker wire.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I hit the switch and all the lights, and there were no fluorescent lights. You know, sometimes you turn on a fluorescent light and you hear that hum.
Yeah.
Well, there were no fluorescent lights, but the hum was there because all the little wires, the strands in the speaker wire were all vibrating at 60 hertz. I was stunned.
That's funny.
Want to go to, again, had a text question came in, said this, hey, hi guys, this is Paul from Egan. I'm looking to sell in the next 1 to 3 years. What home improvements are worth doing to maximize value, and what are some things to avoid? As the guys were talking here, I pulled up, and this is a really good link we can send you that goes over, these are 2024 national averages of what the job cost is and how it affects resale value. And so what's your return? What do you think, guys, is the number one home improvement, kind of a little bit more significant to increase return on value of home sale?
So we're not about paint and carpet. We're talking about a major improvement
Yeah, something.
that you get return on.
Yeah, rate of return. Right?
I think kitchens were 65%. I think if you put 100 grand in, you got 65 grand back.
Steve, what do you think?
I was going to say kitchen. Clearly, it's the one thing when you walk into a house where people just go, ooh.
So number one on the list is garage door replacement for the average job cost and how it affects resale value. So you've got garage door replacement as number one. Number two is entry door replacement. So both of those obviously affect curb appeal. And then going down to including manufactured stone or veneer, having a grand entrance.
Charles there would love that.
Yeah, and then to your point, guys, a minor kitchen remodel. So they showed it cost almost 30 grand for a minor kitchen remodel, and then getting back close to 30 grand with that. Goes on to talk about siding replacement, deck addition. Yeah, it's a good one. It's an interesting thing. I think to Scott's point, obviously paint, carpet, staging can make a huge difference
Light
up front.
fixtures.
Yeah, very important to have a really good agent come out, sit down with you, go through these numbers, go through what makes sense to do. We were just talking to a friend earlier who received a quote from a roof standpoint. Super expensive roof, and he's thinking of selling. Probably doesn't make sense to drop, this major significant roof with all these bells and whistles and getting that money back.
Yeah. So the problem is you spend $50,000 on a roof, and you go, well, what does that get me? It doesn't get you a thing because people expect the roof to work. I just dropped $110,000 on all new windows through my house. Well, what is that going to give me? It's going to give you zero because people assume that the windows in a house work. It'll
give you some. I mean,
well,
zero.
it'll give you appeal, meaning, oh, cool, this house has new windows, and so we'd like to buy this house. Well, this house is 800, and my neighbor, which is the exact same, and I want 100 grand more for my windows. You're not getting.
Yeah. So in that case, too, obviously limited return. What do you think, Steve? You're a wise.
Actually, my mind was going more toward the things that, what would be the opposite? What are the things, like you were saying, roof? I would lump heating and cooling into that too.
Yep.
It's like,
Furnace
just
supposed
put
to
in a
work.
brand new, there's a minimum expected that needs to work.
Yeah.
So other than that, I'm more a spectator here.
Yeah, it is interesting that both of the two top things were curb appeal. Being visual, that's also important. Why we have such great partners from a photography standpoint. really good, important photography with your home sale as well. Mike, do you have anything that came to mind you were thinking?
Well, yeah, it was interesting to me because like the garage door thing, it's like the average cost was 4,500, but then the rate of return but the average return is 87.
See, I disagree with that.
So you almost
completely.
got double for the garage.
Maybe
door,
that's
which
in
is-
different states. If you spend $4,000 on a garage door, you're not getting 8,000.
Was that study done by the garage door
No.
industry?
No, this is actually it's from a remodeling. It's kind of it's industry agnostic, and it does break it out specifically by region. So, for example, our region that it shows is the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska. So again, this is an average. So obviously different price points to kind of Scott's point.
I mean, I think you got to plug in with an agent that knows what they're doing with this because literally neighborhood to neighborhood could be different.
Oh,
It's
for sure.
what is the competition offering out there on their listings and how do you compare to that? And then you can gauge, it's like, okay, my garage doors are 40 years old and they're beat up and they're nasty. And if we put a brand new set of garage doors on here, look at the additional curb appeal you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like Paul, I mean, what I would suggest, Paul, and by all means, go ahead and reach out to us. One of us would come out. I do it myself. But that's what I always do with my clients is you can't answer that question until you go out and physically see the house and see what neighborhood you're in. Has there been 10 sales in your neighborhood at $400,000 and they were all in disrepair? Well, then why would you put your money in if that's what you're looking at?
Yeah, we're up against our final break here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Before we do, Miss Laura Ann Tolek has got a great listing, 20525 Calmetto Court in Lakeville, $399,900. It is a 3-bed, 3-bath with a loft townhome. It's got vaulted ceilings, lots of light, open floor plan, plenty of space to entertain, new carpet, water heater, water softener, washer and dryer, and a home warranty. And Mike, it's got that large deck and patio for entertaining and a private backyard with woods, steps from walking past to Lake Marion, Casperson Park, Ritter Farm Park, and great shopping and restaurants. She's doing an open tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 to 1:30. A great one to check out. Laura Ann Tolek has that listed again, 20525 Calmetto Court in Lakeville for $399,900. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. That's an interesting question, guys, about home improvements. Home improvements, Steve. You done any home improvements lately?
No.
No?
I keep things simple.
You keep it simple?
Yeah.
And deferred maintenance? Are you a deferred maintenance homeowner?
I suppose I'm more of an enjoy the maintenance kind of homeowner.
Mike, you don't need any maintenance on your new house.
Filters, just, it's like, that typical stuff. But I can't think of anything really that deferred maintenance wise that we need to do.
We've had a lot this year. Landscaping issues, tree work.
I would say houses that are approaching a 20-year or older mark, that's where a lot of the maintenance is really starting to accumulate. And if you haven't been keeping up on it, but 20, 25 years, all of a sudden the list just balloons. So I think your house is a little bit older. Mine is newer. You're not real new, but newer. Yours is relatively new. So there's fewer things to take care of in those cases.
Yeah. Mike, we didn't hear your prediction about interest rates.
All right, so Super Bowl, I'm going to say the Lions.
Whoa!
That's actually a good call.
So, I mean, it's out there a little bit, but, they've never won the Super Bowl before. I don't
Yeah,
think
Lions.
any dome team has never won, right? If their home field is
Really?
a dome,
Well, no, New Orleans did.
they did.
Yeah, New
Okay.
Orleans won.
Okay.
Oh,
So it's very, but it's rare. It's usually outdoor teams. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go Lions for Super Bowl. President, I'm gonna go Trump.
Okay.
It's kind of a tough question because we don't know who's going to be on the ballot.
Yes.
Right. So that's kind
Well,
of
yeah, like I said, in my opinion, if Trump runs against Biden, Trump wins. If Trump runs, in my opinion, if Trump runs against anybody else, he wins.
okay. What else?
So I'm
you
going
got?
to go Trump, and then interest rates. I'm going to say conventional interest rates 6.375 on November 5th.
So not much.
6.375.
So
I was
about 3/8
5.
lower than
Yeah,
we're at
I
now.
was at 5.85.
Yeah,
What
not
about you, Steve?
not too much lower.
I don't really follow much in the way of professional football, so I'll go with the San Diego Chargers.
San Diego
I like
Chargers?
lightning bolts.
Well, and you got
They got a new coach.
We got, yeah,
Oh, really?
Harbaugh's
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim
I
Harbaugh's
didn't
the
know
coach,
that.
yeah.
I didn't know that. I just like their helmets. And as for the election, the way things are today, post-debate, Trump, and interest rates, I like the number 6,
Very good.
just because.
I will say for the Super Bowl, I'll pick the Chiefs. I
Always-
think Patrick
always-
Mahomes.
Always safe.
Patrick Mahomes, tough to beat. Interest rates, I think 6.25. And election, I think Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
What about Bernie?
Oh my God.
Let's get Bernie.
That's
Look at-
pulling it out of left
Look
field.
at Switzerland down
Let's
there.
bring us.
right.
Come on, Bernie. We need to bring Bernie back.
Bernie Sanders.
Or RFK. Oh, here we go. We're going back live on air. Minnesota Real Estate Show. Final segment. We just had a texter comment regarding the home improvements. We'll dive into that a little bit more. But we were joking a little bit about the election, guys, and who we're all going to predict. And I picked Bernie
You
Sanders.
did.
And you didn't like that, Scott.
Oh, I mean, at this point, why not? Let's throw Bernie in there. Let's throw him in the mix.
Yeah, it's always really good for listenership to talk politics.
Yes. They love
Listenership
that.
and social media, guys. That really, people really like that.
Yes.
It's a great way to just win people to your side.
Yeah, I would say if you're a real estate agent and you want to kind of appeal to the masses,
Yes.
because that's what we do is we sell houses. I would get real specific on your social media about which candidate you're for and all the reasons why. I would list them out.
Well, not only that, tell everyone else.
Your referrals will blow up.
Tell everyone else why they're wrong.
Yes, yes, do
That's
that.
the winner.
Yes,
Yeah.
your phone will ring off the hook. Scott, could you please come out and list my house? Saw your posting today against Joe Biden.
Yeah. It's very, very welcoming. Hey, our last listing I wanted to touch on before we head to the home stretch. Heidi Huseth has one in Woodbury. Love this address, guys. 6544 Crackleberry Trail for $599.9. It's 3.54 acres. It's in a prime Woodbury location near East Ridge High School. Open house today, 1 to 3, and tomorrow, 12 to 1:30. Heidi said there's new bamboo floors, 3-bed, 3-bath, 3-car garage. Got a 3-season porch. Wow. Gas fireplace, central vac, heated floors, move-in ready. Check out that one, 6544 Crackleberry Trail, Woodbury, $599.9. I did pick the Chiefs, though, to win the Super Bowl. I think Patrick Mahomes is just, there's something about that guy. He's a leader. He's phenomenal. I don't know. I don't want the Chiefs to win, but I have a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, some of the long shots that will be fun to watch this year. The Lions is one. I mean, I'd love
Yeah,
to see
Lions.
Lions. The other is Houston.
Packers.
Packers. Yeah.
Packers are going to
But
be really good.
but Houston with that young quarterback,
Yeah.
they're going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be a fun. I'm ready
Ravens.
for it. I'm ready for Ravens now that they've got King Henry as their back.
Oh, is that who they picked
Yeah,
up?
yeah. They got King Henry, and the reason I picked Philadelphia is they picked up for crying out
Saquon.
loud. They got Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. Yeah. Steve Stalock, Win Home Inspection. I'm happy to hear you're busy. We've done this show for a lot of years, and there's been years where you're not busy. You're waiting for your phone to ring.
There have been those moments, but right now I'm at capacity plus and not able to take on all the business that is coming on the phone these days.
Had a text that says, my husband wears a hat that says, I'm voting for Willie Nelson.
Wasn't there years ago a movie where it was vote for Pedro? What was?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's well, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe
Napoleon,
we need to bring
Napoleon
that
Dynamite.
back. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, vote for Pedro.
so this is an interesting thing, and Ryan knows my mother well. So my mother, who is on the spectrum of being conservative or liberal, is extremely liberal, and she belongs to a group that she's actually at in Michigan, which is equal amount of Democrats, equal amount of Republicans that get together to be able to listen to what the other group is saying, so that you
Oh.
can hear them. So anyway, she called me yesterday. 700 people were watching the debate, and they're all this split of Democrats and Republicans, and they all watch it together.
And what happens,
In
I've
Michigan.
seen the video of it, is people actually then, they kind of hug. a little
Well,
bit.
yes, they embrace. Yes, they
Embrace.
embrace. They each understand the struggles that each side is having to embrace the other candidate.
I love that. My husband's wearing a hat that says, I'm voting for Will. Hey, good for you. You know, it's a free country, right, Mike? Last
Right.
thoughts here. Sorry, mortgage-wise. What do you got? You said your prediction was low sixes?
Yeah, like
By November.
6.375. Yep. And I might write Scott in, maybe write in. Maybe if we get enough people to write Scott in, you think maybe we get Scott as president?
You know, I thought about throwing my hat in the ring. I'm not sure I'd make it through the vetting process. There might be a couple of skeletons.
You could get some delegates to vote for you.
Yes, for sure.
Delegates to vote for you. Mike Oversell, Illuminate Home Loans. Again, fellow agents, brokers listening, Mike is fantastic. As Scott mentioned in the first segment, his dear daughter Jordan buying a house. She's super impressed about what Mike does. All lenders are not created equal. The money, I was just talking to an agent on the Minnesota real estate team this morning who is working with an outside lender representing a buyer, and the file didn't close. And now we're delayed till July 15th. The seller is upset. And so money doesn't always show up. That's why you need a trusted person like Mike.
Yeah, I'll give an example of last couple of years. I got a call from a buyer that was frustrated, could not get a home, had written multiple offers with another agent, and were going to fire the agent and wanted to move on to a different way. First thing I looked at was not the agent doing something wrong. I looked at who their lender was. And their lender, I won't name the name of it, but you would know it. It's a big out-of-state lender. They do a ton of advertising. And they had written 10 offers. And the first thing I did was I put them with Mike. First offer that we wrote, they got through. But they had no idea why they were losing.
No idea.
And the reason they're losing is because if there's 10 offers, I'm not going with Rocket Mortgage. Not.
Scott, maybe there is a political appeal for you.
There is. Well, I'm very middle of the road, so I think I'd appeal across the line.
Hey,
Yeah.
Steve Stalock, people can go to mnrealestateshow.com and see who.
Well, yeah, you've got a great layout of the website. Go to the preferred partners, pull down that list, go to home inspections and look for that handsome bald guy. That's me.
Yeah, look for Steve Stalock, Win Home Inspection. Mike, great job, bud. What do you got? Last thoughts?
You know, it's I think that rates are going to calm down a little bit, be more steady. They're not going to go super low, but I hope that they're going to level out and that we're not going to get these waves up and down where it's 6.5 one day and it's 7.5, 3 weeks later. So I think the rest of the year here, hopefully it's calms down a little bit. It's a little more predictable. And I think we're actually going to have a pretty good second half of the year in our industry.
Yeah, nice job. Mike Overson, Illuminate. Scott, good job, bud.
Yeah, you too. Everybody, we're halfway through the year. It's still a very, very good real estate year, whether you're buying or selling. It's a seller's market, but it's still very good out there.
Yeah, again, we'll talk more about Scott's political ambitions on the next show of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Appreciate you joining us. mnrealestateshow.com. You're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help. Enjoy the weekend and the great weather, everybody. Take care. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Jen, for the vote for president.
No deal for president.
Too kind. Guys, fun show. Lots of predictions. Good show. We will be back next weekend and 4th of July. Everybody have a great 4th of July. Middle of the week. Is it Wednesday? Or
Oh, that's
Thursday?
right. Gosh, I lost my weeks. I was thinking it was the week after.
Is it Wednesday, Mike, or Thursday?
The 4th of July is Thursday.
Yeah.
The Great Gatsby party is on Saturday.
Yeah, check it out. If you are interested, don't you have a Facebook event up for it? Or
Yep. Bash in the backyard. So Backyard Bash. You can go there and check it out. And if you know where I live, you're welcome to come.
yeah, check out his Facebook. Check out the Facebook events. It's open to the public. Listeners of the show, we would love to have you there. Thanks again, everybody.